September 2020, Bank Negara Malaysia has announced they did not cut the overnight policy rate in Monetary Committee meeting, keeping the rate at 1.75% after 4 consecutive cuts since the start of the year, the lowest OPR since 2004. The central bank decision was on the ground that there will continue improvement in the global economy given the easing of containment measures across more economies and strong policy support. In this session, alongside with a property investment expert and a fintech expert, we will be able to gain insight on leveraging on low interest rate environment. So Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all viewers out there. Thank you so much for tuning in with us in this lovely Saturday morning. So I'm Azlan Jais and now we are watching Malaysian Property Live Talk Show and this is the 6th episode. Yeah. So in our set today we have two gentlemen. Just beside me, Mr Ahyat Ishak, the founder of Pejuang Hartanah, and at my far left is Mr Cheng, Hann, the head of business development for Finology. So how are you guys?
Great. Thank you to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us today on Malaysian Property Live Talk Show. So for today, we have like a super duper interesting topic to be discussed. Yeah. So for the kickstart, we will discuss on the hottest topic last week. OPR to cut another 25 basis point again, but BNM has announced, as I mentioned, on 10 of September 2020, they will maintain the OPR at 1.75%. Yeah. So for certain reason, but this rate remains the lowest in decade.
Yes.
Okay. So as we know, a low interest rate is to discourage money being left sleeping in the banks and intended to boost investment and also spending in economy. So Ayat, do you think the objective of having low interest rate has been achieved or will be achieved in the property industry? So meaning that many development project will be launched and also more properties will be bought. So hopefully that you can share with us.
Okay, so yeah, thank you again for the invitation.
Yeah.
Yes, the short answer is yes. When the government reduces interest rate, then it creates an awareness amongst the rakyat that hey, you know what, we're gonna get cheaper money. And when we get cheaper money, I want to access that money and I want to spend.
Okay.
So your answer, will it actually translate to any excitement in the property market?
Yeah, exactly.
My quick answer is maybe yes and no.
Okay.
So
why yes and why no?
Okay, so in the so a lot of buyers, they are very short-minded.
Okay.
So they only see the current moment. Okay, so interest rate is low now, so I want to consider getting into the market now.
Exactly.
But you know that it's going to be a 2 or 3 decades kind of thing, where interest rates are going to go back up and down a couple of more times in the tenure of 30 years. So most consumers don't even understand that they're going to get into something very long term. Okay, so yes, it does get into some excitement, but answering your question where you mentioned, will it spur developers to get into projects and stuff?
Yeah,
so
more projects will be launched.
Yeah, so I don't think so, because the property market is a big giant that takes a lot of time to move. So when things like this happen, the giant doesn't immediately react. Because it takes a long time to plan for a lot of developments. So most of the things that you see launched today, most likely was planned many years before. And because of the sluggishness of this giant property market, the property market, if you see it as a big giant, because it's sluggish, that's the reason why we face a lot of issues. We face a lot of problems, and we also face a lot of opportunities. Because it's sluggish, then there's some group that can plan for some to take opportunity. But in general, it's not going to be the case where suddenly more people are going to be
booming.
No, it's not because of that. Not just because of that one reason.
Low interest rate.
So one thing that I see, a lot of people are getting excited because of the environment, which is low interest rate. So basically, what's going to happen, and we've got the Finology expert here. So I don't know if I'm going to jump his gun, but basically, when the OPR is low, then it translates to interest rates are low, or profit rates for Islamic banks, right? Profit rates are low, and then your monthly repayments are low. So because of that, more people should be able to get into property purchase because of a lighter DSR.
Yep.
That means they will have more space in their debt service ratio.
Yeah, exactly.
And naturally, we would think that they should be able to get more financing approved. But it's not the case. It's not going to be the case. And that's what we want to discuss.
Yeah.
And that's what we had, me and Han,
Okay.
we had this short discussion about what's going to really happen in the market. So as a wrap up, yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely gonna create more interest. It's gonna create more people going into the market and considering property acquisition because access to funds might seem a little bit cheaper right now because of the low interest rate.
Exactly.
But there's still a lot of traps and opportunities in it.
Okay, so thank you, Ahyat, for the answer. And then also for Han.
Yes.
Okay, most Malaysian, of course, buy property with bank loans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are the property loan and also fintech specialist. Okay. So can you tell us, and hopefully you can share with us, what are the things that we should be aware of, and also what is the latest fintech available in the market right now?
Okay, thank you so much. So basically in the market now, in Malaysia market, we are one of the leading in Southeast Asia for fintech. Right,
Okay.
in terms of technology that is built within Malaysia, that has not even crossed out of Malaysia yet. Just within Malaysia, we have more than 20 tech players.
Okay.
Right, whether it's in the prop tech or the fintech space. So these players are very, very strong and they're big and they're SaaS models. So they're taking on bigger corporations like IBM, those who are the back age or the dinosaur age, what we call it. So with this new dinosaur age. So with this new fintech, right, or tech or SaaS platforms, their aim is to actually increase efficiency and make sure it's available everywhere. It's not an inbuilt system. You can use it. Anybody can use it, right? It's for public use, and you can actually get it fast and instant. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Okay, so apart from buying to enjoy the lowest interest rate, okay, so we often heard that property owner also take advantage of lower interest rate, okay, by refinancing. Okay, so Ahyat and Hans, so hopefully, I mean, by throughout your experience, perhaps that you can tell us how does this work? I mean, maybe Ahyat can share about the investment perspective.
All right. So we have this thing called refinancing, where when you purchase a home, let's say 10 years ago, and you've been paying the monthly commitment, and as you pay the financing, your balance of financing reduces, right? But at the same time, hopefully you make the right decision, so your property prices increase. So then you bring that same property to a bank, the same bank or another bank, and you get it refinanced. So there's a lot of words that are thrown around: refinance, remortgage, top up, step up, all this.
It depends on the
The lingo. So there's many lingo. So I think what you're trying to say is that you don't only go for the capital gain of your property, you also can actually try to shorten your loan. Am I right?
True.
So by shortening your loan, you actually leverage on the low interest rate now and pay more, so that you actually save more, right? Because the faster you clear your loan, actually you save a lot. So if you talk about a 35-year loan, if let's say you start paying from year 1 until 35, you'll pay almost double the property price, right? You're paying almost double the property price. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you push shorter, maybe you go for 20 years, right? You actually save a lot on interest.
So a lot of versions of what is refinance, but basically that's it. You take a house that you already own, and then you bring it to the bank and get refinancing. And most of the time, people want to access additional cash. So usually this is a very noble reason why people should do refinancing to reduce interest to the bank, right? Or to profit to the bank. But normal Malaysians, being us, who loves our lifestyle, our shopping, our gadgets, our makan, eat at hotel and 5-star dining, fine dining.
Or even our children's education. So if let's say you are strapped now, right, as a family, so you will want to access to cash, right? But you can't get a pillow because you're already maxed out. So what you do is that you leverage on the capital gain on the property that you have been paying for the last 10 years, right? And then you just go in and tell them, I wish to refinance my property. How much can I get back?
Yeah. So okay, Azlan. Okay, we potong Azlan sebenarnya.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
Because
Azlan, I'm
it's
so
very
sorry.
exciting.
There's two of us, so we're gonna gang up on you. Okay. Okay. So the problem. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the good part, right? So you can use for your lifestyle, your children education. Actually, that one is also a noble cause lah.
Correct.
Kan?
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to renovate. Okay, or business financing pun kan. They cannot
Betul.
access the bank for
E-loans.
for business loans
Yes.
kan, so they refinance for that. Some people do refinancing for debt restructuring. So
Okay.
many little shark, they turn into a grandpa shark lah,
Yeah, grandpa
daddy
shark
shark lah. Okay, but oftentimes when I do coaching with students,
Okay.
and when they ask this question, yeah, here, I want to do this, I want to refinance, I want to
Okay.
access money. I call it technique telaga duit.
Technique
All of us
telaga
will
duit.
have our own what's the telaga? Our own it's like having your own bank, right?
Like a pot.
You're like a
Yeah,
special
yeah,
pot.
yeah.
Your apa tu your so like a pot. Okay, and you can access it because you have the equity from
Yeah.
the property. But usually I could say 8 out of 10 will fail my first question. Okay, and I usually ask, okay, they want to do refinance, they've heard about it, so I ask them this killer question, and
Okay.
8 will fail already, and I'll say no, you're not allowed to. So the question is, why you want to do? Why you want to do
The
refinance?
big question mark.
It's a very
Yeah.
simple question.
Yeah, it's a very simple
but
question.
that is the moment where you're gonna see them. I was thinking, there was a house I wanted to buy, or I wanted to renovate, or I thought I wanted to. So most people, when they ask, I want to refinance, they have no idea
What they want
actual
to
plan.
do with the money.
So this is my syarat, and this is
Okay.
my prerequisite.
Okay.
If you want to do refinance, whatever extra cash that you get,
Okay.
every cent, every ringgit has to have an address.
Okay.
That means you need
Yes,
to
I
know.
agree.
You agree, right?
Yeah, I agree on that.
The reason why
a lot
you
of
want to
people-
refinance.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they will be like all over the place. So I thought I want to buy a new house. So wait, where's the house you want to buy?
Correct.
I thought I saw something. I saw I thought. Did you research it?
Yeah.
So if you get 400,000 out now, so what exactly you want to do? You want to buy another house? Okay, so what's the plan on that house? What's the entry? What's the exit plan?
Yeah.
So most people, 8 out of 10, they don't really know.
Okay.
So let's say they say I want to renovate this house or whatever, I want my children's education. Okay, tell me exactly. Okay, you want to send them to that college. Exactly how much again? Okay, so that's going to be 200,000.
Okay.
And what's going to the balance for? Maybe I'll just save it somewhere. So most people don't plan, and this is very dangerous, brother.
Okay.
So while you have the ability to access funds from your house,
Okay.
to refinance,
Okay.
but you have to remember it's still debt.
Yes.
It's still
That's the most
debt.
important thing, because
Yeah.
this is my next question.
Oh,
What
okay.
are the disadvantages of
Okay.
refinancing? Since
He
we
already
talk about
ready with the
all the
question.
advantages of, a good thing about like
Yeah.
a noble reason why you want to refinance your house. But now, since we talk a lot about the advantages of refinancing, but how about disadvantages of refinancing?
okay.
I want to take this one.
Yeah, please,
I want
please,
to take
please.
this one.
He
So-
sees this every day.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
please.
Ayat's analogy on small sharks to be one mega shark,
Okay.
right?
Mega shark.
One mega shark. So this mega shark is actually chasing you,
Oh.
okay?
Megalodon, is it?
Yes.
Megalodon.
Yeah.
So what you did was for your let's say for your property that you've been paying for the past 10 years. Now you extend it back to 35 years again. All right. So it was at 25, you extend it to 35. So you are paying again an additional 10 years of
Okay.
interest back
Actually,
to
you
the bank.
extend the
Correct.
tenure.
It's
So-
just not extending, but the point is you're adding more interest.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, like what I say, you take out the few 100,000, you pay for your children's education. But that's one thing I need to touch on. Children's education is an investment.
It's a good investment.
Versus
So-
buying a property
Yeah.
with the refinance money, you are betting that, or you're hoping, not betting, you're hoping that the property, the second property that you get, will actually give you more capital appreciation than the first one, right? Because you are trying to fight. First thing, you need to fight inflation. Because if you take out the money, automatically the money will be inflated the next year already. And then second thing is the property price, right?
Okay.
So the 100,000 that you put in, now is quite unsure. But you have to hold it for a long period of time for it to be 200,000.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, for these 35 years, you're still paying the average about 4% interest. Yes, so like told you, every time you do refinance, the shark is chasing you, and this is a bigger shark, not the micro sharks anymore.
Yeah. So some financial planners, financial consultants, do not agree with this method, where you consolidate all those little sharks into one megalodon, right? So so if you have those little sharks, then you could manage them one by one. And they are really cute when they're small, kan? But when they are big and scary, it's you feel
sometimes it will
chased.
kill you.
Yeah. But in a certain from a different angle, some financial consultants that I meet, they do advise their customers, clients, to consolidate through refinancing, only if you've done the proper cash flow analysis.
Okay.
So if there's net really a big sum of significant difference between all the baby sharks, put all together, aggregate, and then you have a 1 mega, but it's better for you. That means you're able to breathe better if you have better cash flow. Then they would still advise and prescribe that consolidation. So there's more to it.
It depends on the situation itself.
Our point is, there's more thinking to just saying, hey, refinancing is an ability for you to access money. So there's a lot of thinking. So do you want to do that? What's your cash flow? What's your plan? So
and what is your exit plan if your plan is not it can be work.
If tak jadi kan,
betul.
Now it's even worse. Now you have more debt. So I think Han is stressing on one important item, which is interest.
After you take the money, can you make more than what you're paying to the bank?
That's true. That's true. So we've got to be really sure of that investment plan or whatever you, like I said, every ringgit must have an address, an objective.
Why you want to do that? Why you want to do this?
So if you're pulling out 400,000 and you know you're going to pay 3 or 4% interest on that, right? So you better make sure that returns are going to be more than that. So that's still a risk on its own, right?
Okay. So thank you so much. Okay, Han.
So that refinancing is a bit hot, right?
Yes, it's a very hot thing.
It's a very hot topic, basically. Okay, so it's a very simple question to you, Han. Okay, have you seen a high number in loan application recently?
Yes, since right after the MCO, I think it was in May, right? So everybody started work. So we saw a huge spike. We're talking about more than 200% increase in terms of application, right? Just application alone, right? Don't include screening.
Some increasing number in terms of application, loan application. So, but a high number in application does not necessarily mean more loan have been approved, right?
Yes, that's
correct. So due to the COVID-19 impact, Malaysians have become poorer. Generally, because their source of income has been affected.
Yes.
Okay. But of course, not all Malaysian are poor. It's just a terms. Okay. I'm just saying in general. So, how do you think that we should deal with that? Is fintech timely answer to this problem?
Okay, so two things I want to touch on. First thing is on the macro part. On the macro part, because of lockdown, so the inflow of foreign money has actually dropped. That way, the spending in terms of tourism and F&B also dropped. Right, so the circulation of money is only within Malaysia. Right, so that is the first cause of it. Why you say people are actually poorer? Yes, they are generally poorer, but because of the circulation of money is actually lower.
At the macro level,
yes,
right?
at the macro level.
Level.
So, but once we go down to the micro level, it's just that it's the same thing. If I'm operating a business and my business is slow, right, and then what I do is that I'm strapped on cash, right? So I have to decide what are the essential things that I want to pay off first, right? So even though I want to buy my first house, let's say, I'm really interested and I do a submission to the bank. Right, but because the bank has huge numbers to process, right, they will only select customers which are, has very strong credit backing. Right, meaning that they submit their tax timely and then it's sufficient enough to pay off everything and their DSR are good. Yes.
Exactly. So is that, is fintech is a timely answer? So the answer is yes.
Yes, definitely, because we are able to process huge number of submissions. And then let the bank actually track all these huge numbers and funnel them to the bank's officer for them to actually screen one by. Yes, correct.
Okay, so Ahyat, do you agree with that, basically?
So is fintech the solution, right? But before that, coming back to the question about more people are applying. That's crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
200% more
Increment.
increment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So could that be? Was it because pent up demand?
Yes, for 3 months, everybody was locked down.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody was locked down, tak boleh pergi show unit, so they can't see the show unit. So once it opened, then everybody just rushed to the show
Yeah,
unit, and
okay.
then they start making bookings, and then they start, processing their loans.
So it will be interesting to see if this is going to be a trend or it's just pent up demand, right? So
I
if
guess
it's like suddenly spike up to 200%, and then if it still goes up, then we know it's a trend that buyers are coming back into the market, right?
Yes.
But if it just normalizes to maybe long-term averages or the pre-COVID-19, then we'll know that it was just pent up demand, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to
Okay.
carry on
Yeah,
from
yeah.
there. So what
Okay.
happened in China right after they eased their lockdown was the property sales actually shot up, and then the property price increased, right? But in Malaysia is somehow the reverse. The applications increased, but the property price has dropped.
Because approval is
Yes,
lower.
approval is lower.
Is approval lower?
Yes,
It's
approval
a bit
is
hard
lower.
for bank to approve.
Actually, approval is not lower because there is always a certain margin, right, for
Okay.
every bank in terms of approval. So the bigger the test cases or the data, then you will feel that the approval is lower. But in context, actually, in the percentage, is still the same.
Okay, all right. So percentage-wise, is still the same, right?
Yes.
So this is my worry actually. So what I'm seeing,
Okay.
there's a lot of great deals out there, and we were talking about the great deals right before the
Yes.
show, right?
Okay.
And I want young people. I want, especially the community that I'm serving,
Okay.
the Muslims. I want them to get into the market because this is the
Okay.
best time. I truly believe that it's the best time right
Okay.
now, and we were talking about that as well, right? So the problem is, wow, there's a lot of deals.
Okay.
Some units are actually below developer's price, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
the deals are amazing, but when you go to the banks, then the banks are now a little bit more sensitive to applicants.
Okay.
So when you apply, this is the way I see. Of course, on the banking side, there's more technical side to it. But the way we see it is, when you want to go to the bank
Okay.
to get financing, basically the bank needs to trust you and to understand your behavior,
Okay.
right? And when they want to trust you, they want to understand you, they look into a couple of things. One of the things that they look into is income, right?
Okay.
So when they look at income,
It's very
there's-
basic things.
Basic,
Income.
yeah. But it's very, very crucial
Yeah.
in the factor of the success of the mortgage,
Exactly,
right? So
exactly.
let's say they look in income. There's two parts.
Okay.
There's the primary income, the main income, or the basic. There's the main income, and every person has that side thing. The additional income, some banks call it proxy income.
Okay.
The problem now, banks are a little bit more sensitive on that.
The
additional-
extra income.
The extra.
Yeah.
So sometimes before COVID-19, because of your extras, then you might be able to get that one more financing approved.
Yeah.
But now when banks are a little bit more sensitive to that, they see more risk on the additionals, the proxy incomes, then some incomes are not recognized anymore.
Yeah.
To build your personal profile, to banking profile. And imagine now your ability to get your financing approved has reduced quite significantly.
Okay.
So while property prices reduce, but now the banks are a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah.
They see more risk
I mean,
into
they are
income.
concerned on that.
They're more
things.
concerned,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, so there could be a proportionate reduction in both sides, and we might not see an additional entry to the property market.
Okay.
But the interesting thing is, Hann mentioned that the percentage of approval remains the same.
Okay.
So this is still quite
It's
good.
It's a good
still
thing.
good.
Yeah.
It's still a good thing for the market
Still
because
good.
the banks are still approving.
Yeah,
right? They're
yeah.
still approving because
Yeah.
they have their own bottom line that they have to take care
Yeah,
of.
but
Yeah.
but it's just some little concern by banks. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
little things only.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why some people say, hey, you know what? I want to wait to buy property during the crisis. Wow, so smart, right?
Yeah.
He sounds like a smart guy when he
Yes.
says that, right? But
Okay.
during crisis, the banks are a little bit,
Yes.
sensitive.
I mean,
Correct.
reserve.
Reserve, yeah. Okay, but answering your question about the fintech.
Okay.
So crowdfunding, P2P, it's all under fintech as well,
Yes.
right? So I'm seeing on the other side of fintech. So
Okay.
Han mentioned the system and the technology to get financing approved, the whole
Okay.
process. But on the buyer side, then we might want to look into fintech to to help us purchase property, right? So imagine like fractionalization, right? In some parts of the world, it's already a norm.
Yes.
Okay.
But in Malaysia, it sounds like a scam, right? Because
Yes,
in
correct.
Malaysia, if you don't understand it or it's too good to be true, it's most likely a scam, right? Right.
Yes.
But so fractionalization, for example,
Okay.
when people don't understand it, they'll just wanna, run away from
Like
it.
push it away.
Push it away. Thank you. And a lot of these crowdfunding P2P may end up being used by scammers. So in Malaysia, it's going to be a bit tricky on the fintech side.
Okay.
And I feel if I could reach out to the fintech team and the fintech family, we have to do a lot of work on creating trust, making it legit. There must be a way to cross-check what is true and what is not.
Okay. Since you talk about that, so do you think that current loan processes are efficient enough? I mean, in terms of fintech.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll take this one. So the current processes, right? Because I touched a little bit about US and in Australia. So
Okay.
these both countries are very open in terms of, as a person, I want to buy a property, I can directly apply for my loan on the platform, right? It's digital loan application and straight through into the banking system.
Okay.
In Malaysia, we do not have that. We still rely on a banker who is has to meet us face to face to verify that I am me. Yes, before I can do the submission. So it's part of the eKYC that is being developed currently now by Bank
Manual
Negara.
KYC.
It's manual KYC, but the eKYC, the guideline is out by Bank Negara. So we are in the midst of studying it. We have to implement it by, I think, next year. Right,
okay.
so all
That'll
banks
be
will
great.
be acceptance. So your image recognition of your face, and then even the thumbprint as well. So it's very important for all these things to be in place in order to increase efficiency, right? For direct application, digital application.
Yeah, for those of you who do not know what's KYC, it's a K-pop band.
Basically, it's know your customer. It's a guideline set by Bank
these
Negara.
bankers, when they talk, I also don't understand. Yeah. So, so but for me, right? I don't think when I represent the buyers and investors, I think the focus should be on us, the consumers.
Okay.
And not focus on the process.
Okay.
Because
the
when you
process and the
focus,
technology.
yeah. So why don't you make yourself bankable? Why don't you make yourself, your documents in order? Why don't you manage all your debt correctly and make it easy? So you're helping the approving bodies or the bankers to help you. You help them to help you. And how you get your financing approved faster?
Easily.
If you have all these things in order. And a lot of applicants is seriously documents pun tak tahu kat mana. And
So Ayah brought up a very good topic, is that after the end of this show, I think we'll be showing a QR code for the public, right? For them to actually go there, they are able to screen themselves. They will know their secrets. They will know their credit score. They will know their individual. And it's all provided by Malaysian Property, right? So yes. So after you have screened, you will understand your own credit score better. Then you will know what you can fix. Whether you want to go the refinancing route, whether you want to go and get a P loan, right? Or whether you want to clear your credit card. So there are many various ways for individual to fix their credit. But the first thing they need to identify is they need to know themselves.
Yeah. So this is the first step actually. So before you talk about, are there great deals out there? You do that first.
Yes.
Your finances first.
Not just like know your customer by banker, actually know yourself
yourself.
first.
Yes, know yourself first.
Exactly. Do you know yourself? In bahasa Malaysia, what I say is you have to sedar diri. Sedar diri dulu. In the Malay culture, you say, kau ni tak sedar diri lah. It's so like, ouch. So
something hurt.
So you have to be aware of your credit health. And then let's talk about buying property, refinance, apa ke nak buat. But you have to do that first. So I want the viewers out there to focus on yourself first. So fintech can do whatever it wants, the government can do whatever it wants, the bank can do whatever it wants. We can't change them like instantly. We can try with one vote. We did but but you can change yourself. So before you look at the external, let's look into internal and see what we can change for ourselves.
Okay.
I think,
no one can change yourself.
I think
as
Yeah,
Ahyat is a
yourself.
guru. Ahyat is a guru on all these talks. So I think one of the main things also is that do not be shy with whatever debt that you have.
Okay.
Thank
Correct?
you.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Malaysians are always very shy. They're very enclosed.
Ego, and they want to
Yes.
put up a front.
Correct. They
you
want
know,
to show
and-
I'm very strong credit. But
yeah.
once you actually pull your credit score, it's a different story.
yeah,
but
yeah,
even though it's a different story, don't be shy about it. You can actually call the bank and tell them, hey, I need to refinance this. I need to, fix my credit. Can you tell me how? So Malaysians are always very shy on this. So it's good that you check your score and then you can just approach all your bankers or any one of your bankers to actually fix your credit.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. So many have said that, now is the best time to buy a property because of low interest environment.
Yes.
Okay. So, and plus willingness of the developer and a property owner to sell their properties in the low prices.
Yeah.
It's just to maintain the cash flow.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but buying a property needs much more consideration than just a low interest rate. Okay. So, what is your advice for the home buyer or property investor in these regards? So, perhaps Ahyat.
Yeah. So my message is work on yourself before you want to look outside. So when we want to buy property, there's a subject that's very important.
Okay.
Mathematics. Yeah. If you like mathematics, if you don't like mathematics, it's compulsory in property.
Yep.
You have to do the calculation. So there's two calculations you have to do.
Okay.
First, you have to do for yourself. So that you know yourself. Sedar diri, so you
Sedar
know
diri.
what's going on, you're aware. And then you do the calculations for the deal that you're buying, right?
Okay.
So which one comes first? You have to calculate yourself.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Now there's a big issue right now because moratorium is going to be over,
Okay.
and a lot of people
It's
are
coming
gonna
30th September.
Yeah, a lot of people are in trouble right now. So you imagine if you do not know your numbers.
Okay.
And imagine you don't know your situation. So there's two groups of Malaysians right now. Group A, your income is impacted by COVID-19 in some way. Group B is not. So Group B, this is really amazing time to buy property.
Okay.
Seriously, like unbelievable deals, 30-40% in all of the 3 ponds that you can go fishing
Yeah.
in the sub-sale, in the under construction, in sub-sale and in auction. It's just crazy. I just lost a lelong this, so okay, never mind. We need to move on.
Okay.
Let it go. Okay, so there are great deals.
Okay.
There are great deals. Okay, my personal opinion, don't believe me, don't agree with me.
Okay.
My personal opinion, this mega sale, like Malaysia mega sale kan, is going to stretch into the final quarter of 2021. I personally feel.
Okay.
Because this mess is deeper and bigger than we actually think. So it's gonna start in Q4 this year, and it's gonna go stretch through the end of next year. So
Okay.
let's say you're in Group B, your income is still strong.
Okay.
Let's go for it. It's already time to buy because the offloading has already started even during moratorium. For some people who know that they're in trouble, right? They're already offloading and selling it cheap. Developers are already doing that. But if you are in Group A,
Okay.
so I plead. I like what Han advised.
Okay.
Please be aware of what's your situation. Go and check your credit score.
Okay.
And for those who are in trouble, if your income is affected by COVID-19,
Okay.
please request for an extension because
Okay.
the moratorium extension is targeted and it's not automatic.
Okay.
So please get that sorted out.
Okay.
And if that's not enough, please talk to your bank for an R&R,
Okay.
for restructuring and
Restructuring
rescheduling.
and rescheduling.
And I'm sure you're gonna.
If that's not enough,
Yeah.
you can talk to Ahyat.
Yeah, I can't borrow you any money. I wish I could.
Okay.
Because some people really need help.
Yes.
So
Understand.
a lot of people say I don't want to do R&R
Yep.
because it's gonna impact my credit score. I won't be able to get financing anymore. But seriously,
In
brothers,
future.
sisters, you are going for survival mode right now.
Yes.
So you just survive first,
I agree.
sort it out, right? I mean, why are you looking at those deals that you cannot access to just because you cannot get financing because you did R&R?
Yes.
Think about the assets that you have now that you cannot maintain pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look at survival. there's nothing shameful about survival.
I agree.
Yeah,
exactly.
Agreed. Yeah. So this is the category that I
Okay.
want them to look into the affected group, and it all starts with being aware financially, your personal, and here's the hope side to
Okay.
this whole story. So even if your income is affected, your finances are in a mess, you still have time
Okay.
to clean it up. Let's say take a full quarter, this final quarter to clean it up,
Okay.
and then you can get into the market in 2022, 2021.
Okay.
Maybe by Q1, if you're quick,
Yeah.
maybe Q2, but you still have access. And here's the final thing. I think I said final like a few times, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Here's the final thing.
It's okay.
No worries. Here's the final thing.
Yeah.
No worries.
Okay, if some of you guys are watching and some of you guys, get me, and you want to get into the property acquisition thing, if you do not collect something during this crisis time,
Okay.
you are going to regret it. Because this moment, this whole mess, this whole crisis,
Okay.
you're not going to see very, very soon, because the market is going to have to recover and expand
Yep.
before it peaks and it goes down
It
again.
goes down
Right?
again, yeah.
When it comes that again,
Okay.
it might be, I don't know,
When-
maybe 10 years.
yeah.
Some talk about the 18-year cycle, but that's going to be like 18 years from now. You might no longer be in the market to purchase. So I don't want anybody to be hasty, tak nak gelojoh.
Okay.
But if you miss out now, it's so sad, because your first property could be now, your upgrade property could be now. You know, some trophy properties are going 30%, 40% below.
Yeah.
Some are cheaper than developers' price 5 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, wouldn't it be so sad
Now,
if you
like
missed?
KPKT, like relaunch the HOC 2020.
I mean, yeah, we should do another segment on that too, right? So please get excited about the property market, because when you're excited about the market, then you will force yourself to clean up what you need to clean up and work towards the objective. Yeah. So
Okay.
I really hope these two sectors, these two groups will sort it out, and let's
Okay.
buy property. Yeah.
So Han, so is there any advice to the home buyers?
Okay, everybody has their own personal preference, right? Whether it's a condo in the sky, or a bungalow in the sky, bungalow in the sky, or you
Bungalow.
want huge land, yes,
Yeah.
right? Or you want places that you can build multiple bungalows, right? So everybody has their own preference,
Okay.
right? But what's most important, like what I touched on, is two things. One is on those who are in survival mode. It's very important to just get yourself checked,
Okay.
and then you can see Ahyat. Ahyat will teach you how to restructure everything. And then the second one is actually for investors. Right, so investors, if you look at the trend in the past 30 years of Malaysia's economic, right, so every time there's a downturn, it's usually 10 years. 10 years downturn, and then 2 years for it to recover and pick back up. So in Malaysia, we have seen 3 times that in terms of the interest rate has dropped below 3%. Yes, 3 times. So this is my first time. I should probably be your second time, right?
Yeah.
So
But the first time I wasn't in the market in purchasing, right? But okay.
yeah,
Cool.
so every 10 years there will be a 2-year gap, right? So if you want to know more, later I can just share the link for you all to see in terms of this interest rate for the last 30 years. So what I want to say is that in 30 years that I take up a loan, if the market, if the interest rate drops, I'm actually saving money.
Exactly.
I'm actually saving money. So actually, this pandemic, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But for property investors, it's actually a blessing in disguise. They are actually saving money to actually obtain more land bank or obtain more properties because of the interest that they pay for this next 2 years are actually lower.
Yeah, it's a rainbow after a rainy day.
Yes.
In a
correct.
way, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much, guys. So all right, that's all we have for today's show. I do understand
Wow.
there's a lot of things that we don't
Yeah.
share and
Yes.
discuss. So Ahyat and Hann, so any last inspiring words to all the viewers out there? Ahyat?
Yeah.
Just maybe a short inspiring words.
So, if you want to achieve something extraordinary in life, then you cannot be an ordinary person and act ordinary. So a lot of people are like that. So if you want the good things in life, you want to be successful,
Okay.
you want to be extraordinary, right? extraordinary car, extraordinary house, extraordinary money in the bank, extraordinary wife, or maybe whatever, whatever's your thing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be that extraordinary person, and you act extraordinary, and then you deserve extraordinary results, right? So I think the word here is deserve. So we have to really go for it, fight for it, and then you'll deserve the extraordinary stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so Han?
That's great. Firstly, I want everyone at home to stay safe, right? Still practice the hygiene and the new norm. That's the most important. Malaysia must stick together and unite to fight this pandemic. The second thing is that because of this whole pandemic, I personally realized something is that go for your dreams, right? Don't sit and wait anymore, right? You can't wait for the next pandemic to hit you, and you might not be so lucky staying at home, right? So for those who have lost people, we're truly sorry for them. Yeah, but this is really good. It's an awakening moment to do what you want to do.
Okay.
Wow.
So thank you so much for your inspiring and thoughtful answers. Okay, so if you have any further question to our panelists, please refer to Google form link pinned in the comment section, and the team will be in touch. So thank you once again for your time to joining us in this live talk show. But please don't forget to share this video as wide as possible. And I'm Azlan Jais. Thank you so much. I'm signing off. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
When you start your home buying process, you need to ask, how much mortgage do you qualify for? With so many banks around, do you know which mortgage loan is the best choice for you? ProSales can make it easier for you. Now we are integrated with Loan Plus. Eliminate lengthy loan application processes. Get your loan score report ready within 10 to 15 minutes. Enjoy loan pre-approval in just 15 minutes. ProSales is very easy to navigate and incredibly user-friendly. To start discovering the best mortgage loan for your new home, first log in and choose your preferred unit. Next, submit your details. Once done, submit your application for loan screening. Your loan score report will be ready within 10 to 15 minutes. We will generate a loan comparison chart from different banks to help you make the best decision. You don't need to step out of the house and visit multiple banks for your home loan pre-approval now. The steps to buying a house requires time and effort. Move faster in the market with the help of PropTech and FinTech solutions. Integrated with ProSales, Malaysia's favorite PropTech solution. Hurry up, get your free loan screening now.
Hello everyone, I'm Azlan Jais.
And I'm Florence.
Thank you for tuning in to our 6th session of the talk show brought to you by Malaysian Property. Hope that you enjoy your time with us.
Let us give a round of applause to our moderator and our speakers for today. Also, not to forget our Facebook partner, Malaysia Kini, our supporting organizations and all partners. Thank you so much.
Do register with us for more updates on our latest project.
We will see you again very soon. Thank you for your time.
Bye.